Hi everyone, it's Crafty Tina's. In today's video I want to show you the 12 Days of Christmas smaller version. Now these are candy boxes. We're cutting them with the candy box punch board, and these are a smaller version of the ones we did prior when we made the 12 Days of Christmas with the complete candy box. This one has the cuts on the top and the bottom. This one only has the cuts on the top, not the bottom. The bottom is flat. So it takes up less space, as you can see, 12 versus 12. It's a personal choice. These are really cute, but so are these. I just wanted to make another version. I want to show you how to make these. They're super easy. They take a little less material because you're not doing the candy box on both ends. You're only doing it on one. So they go faster, in my opinion. We just simply fold up the bottom. So I'm going to show you today how to make this candy box and give you the dimensions of the shadow box, and show you how to create these cute little numbers. We're going to use the numbers. We're going to use the word punch board. Now that is the little board that you put the number or letter that you want in here and you punch it out. I'm going to show you how to make these little punch outs to go on your countdown to Christmas. Now, normally you would do a, bigger countdown than this, like a 24-day, because, Christmas you're going to open the presents anyway. But you could use this for Hanukkah, you could use this for anything, and use the number of gifts that you want. It doesn't have to be 12, it doesn't have to be 24, it could be 8, it could be anything. So it gives you options. So this video I'm going to show you how to make the candy punch board, the candy punch box. I'm going to show you how to punch inside of a shape. We're going to use a punch, like a normal paper punch, but we're going to punch the number out of the paper punch image that we're going to punch. I'll explain everything, don't worry. I'm going to show you how to do both of those, and I'm going to show you how to decorate your boxes. Then in the next video, I'm going to show you how to make a custom frame to fit how many boxes you want. I'm going to show you how to do the math, show you how to actually make the shadow box the correct size, and show you what to put inside these cute little boxes for kids. Now, video number 2 is going to be the shadow box and what to put inside. This video is going to be about putting the numbers on the boxes, making the boxes, and decorating the boxes. So let's get started. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the fun we're going to be having between now and Christmas. It's going to be nothing but videos. So this is a shadow box. It is a 3/4 inch deep shadow box. In order to make that, I used my templates. These cute little acrylic templates that hubby makes. I used the 3/4 inch, made my frame. This shadow box frame is 8 1/4 by 11 1/4. The next video will show making this and how to figure it based on how many of these boxes you want, and not just how many of these, but how many of any of the 2 different sizes. So I'm going to show you how to make your configurations to make these shadow boxes based on what candy boxes you're going to put inside and the amount that you're going to use. So that's going to be in the next video. We're going to put the little templates away for now. We are going to make one of these cute little boxes. I have the paper already cut, so I'm going to tell you the sizes, show you how to do it, and then show you how to modify it so that you have the flat bottom. I'm also going to show you a trick to using your scoreboard to make this folding much easier. So I'm going to use a hot glue gun pen to glue the bottoms together, but I'm going to show you an easy, quick way to make them look really nice, crisp, and professional. So you're going to need ever how many boxes you're going to make. You're going to need that many pieces of cardstock, not paper. Our boxes are going to be 7 by 4.5. You're always going to start with 7 inches if you're making a 4-sided box. We have made other boxes on other videos, but for this video we are making a 4-sided, so we're going to use a piece of cardstock that is 7 inches. And then it is 4.5 inches this way. This will make our cute little boxes. You're going to need 12 of these. I've already made 9 of them to save us some time, but I kept a few out because I wanted to show you a few of the tricks and steps to help you make these easier. Now, if you're making 12, one of the things you're going to want to do is you want to cut out all 12, then punch all 12, then score all 12, and then glue all 12. If you do it in that order, it goes by 10 times faster than just doing it one and all the steps. Trust me, I tried it both ways. It's a super easy punch board to use. I have other videos on this punch board. I probably influenced a lot of people to buy it on my Facebook page, so I want to make sure they get their money's worth out of it. I feel like I already have. I've made multiple boxes, several advent calendars like this. I feel like I've gotten my money's worth out of it because it's not an expensive board at all. I bought mine on officesupply.com. It was even cheaper than on Amazon and arrived quickly in great shape. I was very pleased. I will order from them again. I had not ordered from them prior, but because they were having such a good sale, I ended up buying 4 punch boards and a refill for the windmills, and I will have more punch boards coming up because of that purchase. Now let's get started making our little boxes. If you're going to use paper that is one directional, which means I cannot turn this paper upside down and it still work. My little wise men are going to be hanging on for dear life. They're going to fall off the camels, and we can't have that. So one direction, your punches are going to be for these boxes on top. So you want to make sure that you're punching the top. Remember, we're only punching one side, not two, because if we were doing two, it wouldn't matter. You just flip it around, but we're only doing one. So we're going to punch the top side. Super easy, very self-explanatory box. It comes with instructions, but who wants to read those when you can watch me do it? You're going to put your paper to the top. You're going to line it up to the line that says start line, and you're going to punch. You're going to slide it over until your punch fits into this raised diamond shape on the left-hand side, and you're going to punch it again. You still have nothing to score. There's only one score line, and we have not crossed it yet. So you're going to punch twice before you even have anything to score. Now I can score and punch, move it over to the next diamond, score, punch, move it over, score, and punch. And that very last diamond, you're going to want to score it as well. So you're going to have a score line go down through the center of every diamond. This one is a partial diamond, it's a half. There's no place for a score line because it's the edge of the paper. Let's watch that again. Again, this is one directional, but it depends on how you want to look at it. Do you want the bows with the little things to come down like a normal bow? Would you like your things to hang upside down? I kind of like it both ways, but because the bows have tails, I'm going to stick with this way. If these did not have tails on the bows and they were like that, I like them hanging down like a little swag. But because we have bows, we're going to go with this way. Remember, one directional, you need this to be the top. We're going to put it back in here, line it up at the start line. The start line goes to the edge. There's also a little did it thing sticking out here to help you line it up. This is one of those boards you really can't miss. Punch, slide it over, punch, slide it over again, and now we have our scoring line. You just punch and score just like any other of their punch boards. We Are Memory Keepers made these punch boards to be very simple. They kind of limited us on size. Basically, this tells us we can't go any bigger than 4 sides, but if you've seen my prior video, you know we can. And now let's do the last one. Now, when I cut this piece of paper, I wanted my stripes going across. Had I wanted my stripes going up and down, this would have needed to be 7 inches. So even though this is one that it doesn't matter, you may want it to go a certain direction. So I have to start with the 7-inch one. I can't do the 4.5. I have to do the 7. So my stripes are going to go horizontal, straight across. So we're going to put it in here. And I'm doing 3 because I want to show you multiple things. And I wanted to have enough cut with you watching to show how quickly these go. They don't take a lot of time. They don't take a lot of paper. They're super easy. They don't even require a lot of space on your desk. It's a very small punch board. I would actually use this one in a car driving down the road if I had a long trip and a bunch of these to cut out, because it is such an easy punch board. As long as you keep the paper at the top, it's going to stay straight and you're not going to have any problems. So now that we have them scored and punched, that is all this board can do for us. So we're going to set it to the side. But that doesn't mean that's all it should have done. That board should have given us another score line to make it easier on us. So we're going to use our works board because we want the score lines. You're going to make sure you set your works board to have the edge on here. This is the edge you need when you're scoring. But if you flip this over, there's no edge, and that's for cutting. So flip that over, and you have the actual thing to butt the paper up against for scoring. You're going to take your cute little candy box. It's not done yet. You're going to put the diamonds on the right-hand side, and you're going to put them up against that ridge. Now you're going to score at the 1 inch. You want to score straight down the center of those diamonds. Then you're going to score at the 1 3/4 inch. Then you're going to flip it over to the bottom, and you're going to score at the 1 inch. All right, let's see that again. And it doesn't matter if it's right side up or right side or upside down. I'm going to show you with it right side up so you maybe can see it better. We're going to score at the 1 inch, and that 1 inch just puts it exactly in the middle of those diamonds. And then we're going to score at the 1 3/4, which puts it just below the diamond cutout. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to score at the 1 inch. Now the reason we're doing this score at the 1 inch, because that is what's making our bottom fold. And now let's do one more. At the 1 inch, and you're going to score carefully because there's no paper here. So when you go to the next one, you don't want it to rip. So you want a good crease, but you want to be gentle with it. 1 3/4 will score right underneath the diamond. We're going to flip him around, and we're going to score it at 1 inch. We got lucky. Our little wise men are going to be in the box. So now we have all our score lines. We have this score line, which is the bottom. We have the score line here and here, which is going to make folding this part of your candy box much easier. And now we can remove the scoring board. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to need our scissors, because remember, we're making the flat bottom. So this is an extra piece that the scoreboard can't do for us. We're simply going to cut those score lines up to the 1 inch score line. And that's how we're going to make our bottoms. It's just a straight snip, and it doesn't even have to be straight, just the best you can, because it's not going to matter. You just want to cut on that score line, and if it's not straight, doesn't matter. Don't go past the score line. If you do a little bit, that's okay. Just try to stay under the score line or at the score line. Don't go above it. So it's just a snip, 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 and we're done. See how quick that was? Now I'm going to show you how to glue it using the hot glue gun, because this little hot glue pen is really doing well for me. I'm really enjoying it. I am glad I purchased it. I did purchase it on Amazon. I've put the link in a couple of videos already. If you want it, just give a shout out in the comments and I will put the link down there for you. If you want the link to this at Office Supply, let me know and I'll grab that as well. Any questions you have, just put them down in the comments or come join me on Facebook, because I have a lot of followers that are more than happy to help when I don't answer fast enough. We are simply going to fold in the flap, because you have these big sections and then you have this little small one. We're going to fold that one in two sections, we're going to fold two sections over so that it can be attached to this little flap. And I'm only going to glue up to here. I'm going to do this separately. I have found that that actually makes it easier on me. It really does help to plug in your hot glue gun before your video starts. But lucky for me, this heats up super fast. So let's go ahead and fold the rest of ours so that they will be ready to go. We're going to fold all our little score lines. These are the bottom flaps, so they're going to get folded in. They don't stay in, you just need to fold them. Now for these, they need to go right sides together and then back sides together. And then you need to fold each little section. You want to make sure you give it a good crisp fold. It's going to make the box stay square. It's going to be easier for you to glue. Making sure we did not fold this. So right sides together, back sides together. Because I started wrong, I ended wrong. You want these to go in and these to come out, because that's going to make our little box. But when you fold a score line, it's very easy to fold it either way. We're going to fold our little tabs in again. So like that. We want to fold backs together and then fronts together, because we want it to sit like that. And now we can fold our little sides, giving it a nice fold, but you don't have to overdo it because it does keep its shape very well. See how nice little square it is? And then it crunches in. We have to fold these in, but after we glue them. So we're almost ready. Yep. Like I said, this heats up very fast. I'm very happy with this. So now we need to glue it. And we're basically gluing the small flap to the first full panel. It's tempting to think the diamonds are the panel, but the diamonds are actually in between the panel. So if we fold this in and we fold two panels over, it's in the perfect spot that we need to glue. So we're going to put our glue on here, hold it down, and it lines up perfectly. And now we can glue this little triangle at the top. I was gluing them all in one shot, but it seemed much easier to do it in two steps, and it only takes a few seconds, so we didn't really have to worry or fuss with it. Now we're going to do the bottom. The one that has the extra piece, the seam, I like to have that one not show as much on the inside, but not really be on the outside. So I take the one, this is the extra piece here that was glued on. I do this flap first, then I put glue across this one, holding it square, I close it. Now I reach in with my bone folder back side so that I have something to press my finger against for the gluing part. Now before I put these two flaps down, I don't want them to hang off the edge at all. I want them to be very professional looking. So I'm going to hold it with the box facing me, the flap facing out. Going from the corner, I'm going to snip that much off, just a little corner, just making it a slant. I'm going to turn it around and do the same thing. And then I'm going to do face up so I can do the corner and slant on that side. And then when I flip it around from the corner out, and now I have a slimmer bottom than top. And that makes it look so much more professional because it's not hanging off the side. I simply put some hot glue around to hold this one down. And again, just reach in there with my, you can put it down if you want to mash it down. I'm just using the back side of my little bone folder. And then I'm going to do this. When I do this one, I want to come to the edge without going over, because this is the final flap. I want to make sure that it's not going to stick up. And then I just put it down and tap to make sure that it's actually stuck, and it is. And that makes a really good bottom. Makes it nice and clear, or nice and flush. Very professional looking without it being too cumbersome. Now, you see how easy this goes in? It's because we scored here and here, which is not on the scoring board. It doesn't tell you to do that. It just works so much better. Now, one little trick I did discover, and I love it, is I bought these little hair rubber bands. They're in the hair section at Dollar Tree. They come 700 in a little packaging. The packaging was very sharp plastic, so please put them in a Ziploc bag. I use 2 because I don't know how sturdy they are, but look at this. They're super tight, but very flexible. When you put this around, it closes it perfectly. And because I got clear ones, you can't even see it. So I'm using these rubber bands to hold it closed before I put the pipe cleaner on it. And it is working fantastically. I can't tell you how glad I am I did that. You can leave this look, you can leave it a squared look at the top, especially if you're going to have tissue paper coming out. It's entirely up to you. If you don't want that squared look, you can bend them in to give it like a 4-pointed star look. And that's what I've been doing. Doesn't matter, it doesn't affect anything, but that's just a different way to do it. Now, another thing I wanted to show you, and this is why I cut 3, because I wanted to show you your options. Another thing this board has to offer is it offers you to make this decorative. I recommend, if you have decorative scissors, I recommend doing a very, very small cut all the way across. Stay away from getting too close to your diamond, but if you can do a decorative cut all the way across, you would have a really pretty finish on top of this. But let me show you what this board does. It has 2 little triangles raised. You simply put this in, line it up to your 2 triangles, and punch. And now you have this cute little rounded V shape that looks great. So now you do each one of those, and the tops then have a cute little shape on them. If you don't like that shape and you have decorative scissors, a border punch, but remember, don't go too deep, because if you punch into that diamond, it's going to fall apart. And I don't think the last one is necessary. Yeah, good. So now I have this cute little V shape up here, and let's see what it looks like once it is put together. We're going to glue it together the same way. We're going to fold in the little tab on the side so that we can fold 2 panels over and line it up perfectly. Watch your fingers. It is still hot glue. Even if it's a pen and less glue is coming out, it is still very hot. Fortunately for me, I have not burnt my finger yet on this one. I am sure I have scars from years ago from hot glue guns. You always want to make sure you open it right back to make sure you didn't squeeze any glue out, and you don't want it to stick together flat. And then we want to make sure we do the little triangle at the top. And there we have our little triangle. See how we're doing. Perfect. And now we have our box with the little scalloped edge. Let's make our bottom again. So I'm going to bend them all out. I know we've already bent them in. So I'm going to put this has the extra piece right here. I'm sorry, the little hot glue strings bother me. This is the extra piece right here. I'm going to do this one first, and this is whatever you want. It's no right or wrong. I'm going to put some glue on this one. I'm going to hold it square. I'm going to bend this one in. I'm going to use this to make sure the glue can touch. And now I'm ready to fold my others in. But first I want to cut my little slants. Let me show you what it looks like without cutting them. Without cutting them, you have the edges. They show. especially if it's slightly off. That edge is really going to be there, and you're going to feel it, you're going to see it. You're not going to be happy with it. But just a little snip, snip, turn it upside down, snip, and snip, and you have a beautiful closure. So we're going to do this one first. I'm going to set him down, make sure he's nice and flat. And then we're going to do this one over here, making sure that we go to the edge because he's the last one. So we want to make sure he seals flat. This is probably overkill using hot glue, guys, but I really think that it's faster, it's more affordable, and it really secures the box really good. So even if it is extra, I don't mind doing it. Now the same thing, we can take 2 little rubber bands, put them together, and they are tiny. I don't know how people get these in their hair. I don't have much hair, so this would be a little hard for me. So we're going to put these like that. And now you can leave them as this box looking shape. See how cute that is? Or you can do the same thing with this one, and you can fold it, making it into a little star shape. And that's the different look that it gets. I kind of like it both ways. I'm not really partial to one or the other. I'm probably going to mix it up even within one board just because I kind of like them both. I think it gives some character. It may look better on one print than it does on the other. Who knows? So let's do one more. We're going to leave this one plain. We're just going to glue it together. I want to emphasize you start with a little tab. You're going to add hot glue when you get low. Now you're going to start with the tab. Fold it over. Check and make sure it didn't glue to anything that it shouldn't have. Even though hot glue doesn't squish out, and luckily this is a small bead of hot glue, still check because you really don't want to be disappointed when your little candy box doesn't open. And now, ta-da, it opens. So now we're going to, the little extra piece, the piece that overlaps, that's very stiff. So if you want to fold that back and forth a couple times, or at least fold it down really good, it will probably help you when you go to glue. Now my box is ripped. It's not because of anything that was done, it's just very thin cardstock and I scored it too hard. But I can fix that. It's not a big deal. What we're basically going to do is we are going to, and I don't have any solid white, but I'm going to take some washi tape. And I'm going to tear off a piece. I'm going to go to the inside of this box. And it looks like that whole edge. So I'm going to try to get my fingers in here and add this washi tape to this rip. And just like that, we have secured that corner. These are going to be torn apart to get to what is inside. So I don't have a problem at all putting tape on the inside of this little box. These boxes are going to children with little gifts inside. They're not going to notice that piece of tape. I do want to make sure that it sticks well, and it does. And it is paper tape. It's strong enough. Oops, see, I didn't go all the way to the top, and it's ripping the top too. I really must have pressed down on that one. So we're just going to go in here. Now remember, I don't edit my videos so that you can learn how to fix these things as they happen to you, because mistakes happen. Things out of your control happens. Now that's much better. I can see my tape just a little bit, so I'm going to trim it out. You could have used a piece of Scotch tape. You could have used any kind of tape that sticks to paper. But now I feel better about my little box. So now I'm going to glue it. We're going to put, this is the one with the extra piece. We're going to glue this one. Or we're going to fold this one in. We're going to glue this one. I'm just using that so I have something to put pressure on to mash that down. Now, if you get a little bit of glue come out, that's fine. It's going to be dry in there before you put anything in there. So now I'm going to cut my little sides. Just a little sliver, a little triangle. Doesn't even have to be very much. You almost think to yourself, well, that's not enough to matter, but trust me, after making multiples of these, it is enough to matter, and you're really going to like the results better. So now I'm going to put one side down. You guys see me put this hot glue gun back in its stand constantly. It is not necessary to keep putting it back in the stand. You actually can use this. I believe the instructions said you can use it for 2 minutes before you have to put it back in there. If I lay it down, I'm going to lay it on its side. I'm going to put it somewhere where I'm going to touch it. I'm trying to get into the habit of putting it back in the stand so I don't get burnt. And so far it's working. Sometimes it's a little hard. Like I have to put fingers down on the base on one side to pick it up, but it's actually really worth it. So now I'm going to put my little rubber bands. And we just made 3 with explanations and chit-chatting and me fixing a mistake twice. So you see how fast these can actually go. And now we have our cute little box. So we were able to make 3 boxes really quick, really easy. They're ready to go, except now they need numbers. And now let's talk about numbers. Let's talk about how to get the numbers on them. One of the things that I was looking at was how I was going to put the numbers. I have the alphabet punch board. Makes little letters, makes little numbers. This is too big. Even though this is the mini, this is too big because this is like 1 3/4 by 2 1/4 or 2 1/2. That is too big of a number for these. So that option was out. But I have the word board or the word punch. Now this is 3 sets in here. I have all my numbers. I have my lower cases and I have my upper numbers. Now my husband makes these wooden trays and he puts inside his hobby is laser. He puts inside the numbers. So when I have these laying on the desk, I have somewhere to put them back. Another problem I was having was you can't see them. They put white on top of these pastel colors. So he made me these little stickers. I forgot to put the ones on the numbers. He printed them for me. I just didn't add them. So like the V, that V is a sticker. It didn't come on there. The V you're supposed to look at is right there, and you can't see that. It is super hard to see. So if you buy these guys, make sure you do something to help you find them, because if you don't enjoy crafting with an item and you put it to the side because it's complicated, you will not use it. Make sure it's functional. Make sure you enjoy it. I enjoy these because I have a place to put them back. The tray he made me fit in one of those drawers. You know, the little 3 plastic white stacky drawers? This is one of those drawers and they fit perfectly. I have a few slots left. Don't need them. And here is the actual punch board. It's totally empty because I'm going to put what I want to punch in the board in the order that I want it. And that's why this is the word punch board. Not to be confused with the alphabet punch board. This is the word punch. And this is 3 different purchased sets. The numbers and the little symbols down here, the and, the explanation, and the pound sign, these come as one set and they do not come with the board. The lowercase letters come with a board and the uppercase letters come with a board. So I had 2 boards. So if one breaks, I'm good. But I do have all the letters and I'm going to be doing more things, including with the advent calendar. I want to put Merry Christmas on here. I want to put the year. I want to do all kinds of things. So I'm going to be using the word punch board. So let's talk about how to get these little letters or how to get these numbers inside of a punch. So here's the 12. He's inside this cute little shape. Now these shapes, this is a Creative Memories punch. It's super old. It was given to me and it was old before it was given to me. But it still punches great. You can probably still get these on eBay if you want. Any punch will do. Any punch. It doesn't have to be the cute square. It can be a regular square. Any punch will do. We are going to punch the number and then punch it out using the square. Okay, you with me so far? Because if you punch the square first, you're not going to get that little bitty piece of paper in here to punch the letter. It would be too hard to line it up. So here's what I want to do. I want to do the number 1. So I'm going to go to my board. I'm going to get the number 1, and I'm going to put it anywhere I want because that's all I'm punching. So I'm actually going to move it over. I want to have plenty of room around me. Here's my red. I'm going to do a red one. I want to punch with enough space on both sides for my square. So I don't want this to go all the way to my 1. I want to center my 1 in here, so I need space on both sides. With me so far? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to punch my 1. Now I put it in here properly, all the way to the back and all the way here, so my letter, or my number in this case, is not crooked, it is straight. Now I have the number 1. I'm used to doing letters with this. So I have the number 1. Now I want to center that 1 inside. I want to make sure that I'm punching out the whole shape. So I don't want to come like way down here. The 1 is not going to be centered because you can't go any deeper because that's the limitation of the punch itself. I just want to go enough. I want to center it to the top. Because this is scalloped, I had that scallop right in the middle to show me the center. And now I have a number 1, and it's at the top, and I'm okay with that. And the reason I'm okay with that is because it made for a great space for a decoration, and that was this little bitty snowflake. This little snowflake guy, he's Recollections, which is a Michaels brand. He is the cutest little snowflake, and I love using glitter cardstock with him. And he made the perfect decoration underneath the number. So I'm okay with the number being not in the center. Because remember, you can only go so deep into your letter to put that number, into your punch to put the number. So let's do a 2 number. Let's do the 1 and the 2. Now I have a video on this punch, so if you're not familiar with it, you may want to go check it out because it shows you how to get the numbers or letters closer together. If I put them side by side, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and I punch, the numbers are very spaced out. They are super spaced out. I don't want them that far apart for my advent calendar. I want them close together. So what you have to do is the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to flip this over so that we have plenty of room. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to punch my 1. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to put my 2 in peg number 5. And there's a little bitty, I don't even know what to call it. There's a little bitty spacer with these little jagged edges, and you're going to put that little spacer in number 5. I'm hoping you guys can see that. It literally gets lined up with the number 5. And because I put it all the way to the end, I'm going to put it all the way to the end again, lining it up properly, and I'm going to punch my 2. And by doing this, I am perfectly spaced, perfectly lined up, and now I have my 12 close together, but still lined up properly. And that's how you get them closer together. If you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. You're going to like it. It shows you how to get them close together, how to leave them far apart. Whatever you need to do, it shows you. Now I need to cut out my 12 with my little scalloped square. I want to put him in there just like I did my 1. I want to center it, but it has to go far enough that this punch is going to punch out the full shape. And I'm thinking right about there. Looks great. And now I have my 12 and I have my 1. Isn't that cute? And this is a great way to use your number punches. You can do them for your advent calendars. You can punch out the year pretty much any way you want. Just remember, you have to punch your number first and then punch your shape. because if you try to punch your shape, and you can, I'm not saying you can't, it's just easier, you would have to take this little piece of paper and try to center it. Maybe I can. Try to center it with this itty bitty punch and punch. And actually it does work. So if you made the mistake of putting this first, you can use your hand and put it. I would not recommend it for the double ones though, because you're not going to get those lined up. But that actually worked out pretty good. I'm impressed. Now let me show you one more thing, because the number itself is actually cut out. So it's basically using the background to show the number. So when you put them on your cute little boxes, you had to make sure you put it in an area that was light enough color and not the same color, so you can actually see what that number is. If you didn't want to have to worry about that and you're not putting a lot of decorations on the front, this is another route you can go, especially if you're using a punch that you have more than one size of. You can do a different color in the next size up, and then you can layer your numbers. Now that looks great, and when you put this on a busy pattern, it's going to show up even more. I like this look better than this look. I was going to put a lot of decorations. You can still decorate around it, but I also didn't want to cover up like Santa's face and stuff. So play around with it and find a solution that works best for your needs. Remember, this is crafting. This is all about creativity and using your imagination. Now, if I was going to attach these together, again, I would use the hot glue gun, because I just simply think that it's so much faster when it comes to cardstock. And just like that, I have my little layered two. So you can sit in front of the TV with your little punches and your punch board and make up all your little numbers before you go to the craft room. You can sit in the car or sit on the couch or in bed while you're watching your favorite show. Put on a Christmas movie. This would be a great thing to sit around and do if you're making multiples. Then you can come to the craft room and assemble everything together, because you really do need a desk to do the bulk of it. But this is how you decorate your boxes. That was how you make your boxes using the flat fold method. So let's recap what we've done, what we've used to make sure that you know what you need. We used the candy punch board to make all our boxes. I used my Crafty Tina's acrylic templates to make my shadow box. I used a hot glue pen for securing, and I used my word punch board for punching out my numbers. Isn't that awesome? So one final thing is, what do you do to go around your actual box? Very simple. I cut a pipe cleaner in half. I lined it up to be half on each side. You simply wrap it around. You don't have to be tight. You're not having to hold a piece of ribbon while you tie a bow. I just simply swooshed it around and then made a loop on each side. Didn't even tie it to a bow. I just made a loop, and you can even use a pencil if you're worried about your loops not being round. The best thing about wire is it's very forgiving, and there we have a bow made out of a shiny pipe cleaner in 2 seconds flat. So tell me what you think. Wait for video number 2, because it's going to show you how to make whatever size frame you want based on how many of these boxes you're going to do. And I'm going to show you what I bought at Dollar Tree to go inside for the kids. I don't have kids, but I have kids I wanted to provide this for. So let me know what you think. Go make something fantastic today. And as always, happy crafting.